Greetings, whisky folk, and welcome to the official Dram Association unbottling of That Boutique Whisky Company's Penderyn, batch number 1. First ever Penderyn for That Boutique Whisky Company. Very cool. So the reason we're presenting this whiskey right now is because we have an upcoming tasting. At the time of recording, we're about a week out from our Indie Spotlight tasting with That Boutique Whisky Company. By the time this whiskey video gets uploaded, however, the tasting will have already happened. I plan to upload it the morning after. So yeah, if you missed out on the tasting, well, you should at least get to see my initial impressions when I first crack open the bottle. And seeing as I have to present this whiskey in front of a room full of people next week, it's a good idea for me to have a sample beforehand to get my head around the kind of flavours that are going on and, you know, have an understanding and an impression of the whiskey myself. So, here we go, Penderyn. And this is one of 2 world whiskies that we are presenting as part of this one, because May, of course, has World Whiskey Day. So we're getting in a little bit ahead of there, but celebrating World Whiskey Day by launching a couple of world whiskies. This one, Penderyn, is, of course, from Wales. And the other one, if you haven't seen it, is from Switzerland, believe it or not. And if you have seen it and you're not sick of the pun yet, yes, indeed, I do refer to it as a Swisky, and that is my new favourite thing. All right. Yep, stickers. Always happy to see the stickers. That Boutique Whisky Company single malt Welsh whiskey, distilled at Penderyn, aged 6 years, batch number 1. Bottle 142 of 237. So possibly a single cask. Probably a single cask at that kind of number. Interestingly, exactly 50% ABV. I've talked a few times that it feels like Boutique kind of just throws a dart at a board and aims for 50, and it kind of wanders either way between. This time they got a bullseye. So congratulations, Boutique. You got a full 50 points there. Oh, and it's kind of fun because a bullseye in darts is actually 50 points. Huh. Didn't even think of that. Anyway, cool illustration, as you can see on there, of sort of a patent for the still being drawn up. I'm sure we'll find out more about that in the official notes from That Boutique Whisky Company, which I'll read to you in a second from my trusty cell phone. But let's find out what I think of this whiskey. It's got a good pop. That smells like a Jaffa, which is kind of a, imagine a spherical orange-flavoured M&M. That's basically a Jaffa. I think it's a Kiwi thing. But yeah, love that. Actually, one of my friends who lives in New Zealand is coming over soon. I should get her to bring some Jaffas for me. Actually, I should get her to bring some New Zealand whiskey for me. Ooh. There's an idea. I wonder if she'd be up for that. I should ask. All right. I love exploring world whiskies. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore Scotch. I love Irish whiskey, of course, and I love whiskey from North America and Japan, the 5 pillars of whiskey, if you will. But there's something fun about exploring the entire world with whiskey, which you can do now. So many countries make it. Even Wales. They've been doing it for a while, but still. So yeah, orange, a little bit of that sort of candy coating like an M&M's. I'm not really getting much of the chocolate, but I'm really strongly getting that orange candy thing. Almost as if like a Campino, like an orange-flavored Campino. I don't know if such a thing exists. They're usually strawberry, but if something like that did exist, it would feel like this would smell like it. Mandarins and clementines. What else we got under there? It's a sweetness, but it's not. It doesn't, on the nose, it doesn't feel like a sugary sweetness, nor a fruity sweetness. It's almost like a herbal sweetness, stevia, maybe? All right. Oh, what the hell is that? That tastes nothing like the nose. That is... I don't know what that is. That's some kind of delicious cookie. That is a... It starts off normal. It starts off papaya, mango, tropical fruits, and then just goes into this weird, like, almond cookie, maybe, is the closest approximation I can think of. It's really interesting. I can't really fully put my finger on what it is. I know it's something familiar. Peanut butter cookie, maybe? I know what it is. For a very brief period, I experimented with gluten-free things. Didn't last long. But one of the things I enjoyed, I think the brand was maybe Udi's or something like that. It was a brand I found in Ontario, and they did a gluten-free snickerdoodle. And I've never had a snickerdoodle until that point, so that was like the first snickerdoodle I've ever had. Cinnamon, is that the flavour of a snickerdoodle? But it feels like that. It's got this gluten-free cookie dough kind of a thing, with some like herbs and spices and a little bit of sort of honey flavour. Huh. Don't mind if I snickerdoodle do. That might be the name. All right, so official notes from That Boutique Whiskey Company. Our first ever batch from the Penderyn distillery is a 6-year-old release of just 194 bottles at 50 ABV. When Penderyn began producing whiskey in 2000, it was the first Welsh whiskey in over 100 years. A unique type of still developed by David Faraday, which I believe is a different Faraday to the Faraday cage, specifically for Penderyn, differs from traditional Scottish and Irish distillers. The Faraday still processes the entire distillation procedure from wash to new make in just one still. Wait, what? It's a 2-in-1. It's a hybrid. It's not even a hybrid. It's just 2 stills in one. Double still. A second Faraday still was installed in 2013, doubling their capacity. I'm going to look at this picture now and see if I can understand it. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's like 2 column stills piped in next to each other with plates. Huh. I don't think I ever really realised that this is... No, wait. It can't... But it's a single malt. It can't be a column still. Underneath this blue box is probably a pot. So it's like a hybrid, almost like Loch Lomond's. Yeah, you can see there's a wider base hidden underneath it. So it's a hybrid. It's almost like Loch Lomond's, but with a second neck, which is separate and connected by pipes so that it can go through 2 different necks. What on earth is happening here? I want to find out more about that. That's very cool. A Faraday still, a column pot still hybrid, is essentially a pot still stacked with 2 columns. Yeah, the first distillation happens in the pot, the second is then purified in the 2 columns. The new make is then taken from the 7th plate of the second column, at a whopping 92 ABV. 92! The resultant spirit is light and clean. Yeah, you'd expect so. Blimey. There are just 2 Faraday stills in operation, but yield is low. They each produce the equivalent of 1 cask's worth of new make a day. Wow. The late Dr. Jim Swan was both one of the founders and their master blender. He was instrumental in developing their original house style, Madeira cask finishing, which leads their gold range. Today, the distilling team are all women. Our label simply shows a recreation of their unique still setup. The artist's hand is holding a beautiful red pencil with the texture of dragon scales, symbolising the red dragon on the Welsh flag. That's neat, didn't notice that. That's a nice touch. Oh, I'll just notice something that I'm sure they're about to say, though. The ring on the index finger there has a swan on it. That's Jim. Yep. Notice the signet ring with a swan on it? There we go. It's a nod to both their Welsh gold logo and the late Dr. Jim Swan, who consulted on the original setup of the distillery. Nice. So the official tasting notes on this one. The nose was initially quite herbal, maybe agave. That's kind of the herbal sweetness I was talking about, which I was saying stevia, right? But let it breathe and it develops beautiful blossom notes with jasmine and orange. Sweet with notes of honey, tropical fruits to papaya, mango, and just a hint of lime. On the palate, a herbal agave note leads for me, but then sweetens with hints of apricot, sultanas, vanilla cream, while black pepper plays in the background throughout. Sweet limes and black pepper on the finish. I'm going to go back and look for that black pepper. I love black pepper, especially on the finish of a whiskey. But with that, I will say adieu as I take another dram, and see you on the next video. Slán sivar.